For decades, the magnifying lamp has been considered the gold standard of skin analysis. And while it absolutely has its place, relying on it alone is like trying to understand a complex novel by only reading the chapter titles. You catch the general idea, but you miss the nuance, the backstory, and the mechanisms driving the plot. Today, we are going beyond the magnifying lamp in and of itself. I'm going to walk you through 3 advanced yet highly accessible skin analysis techniques that fundamentally change how you assess skin and also how you build treatment protocols for your clients. Now, these aren't about buying new devices at all. They are about refining your clinical senses and applying structured systems to uncover the root cause of skin dysfunction. We'll start with the power of educated palpation, using your hands as diagnostic instruments. Then we're going to revisit the Woods lamp analysis, but through a more corneotherapeutic lens instead what we already know. And finally, we'll look at what I consider the most powerful diagnostic tool of all, the corneotherapeutic interview. So, let's begin. The first tool we're going to talk about is one that you already possess, your hands. But I'm not talking about casually touching the skin or confirming what you already see visually. I'm talking about educated palpation. When properly trained, your hands can detect information that no lamp, camera, or scope can show you. It's especially true when it comes to barrier health, inflammation, the hydration status of the skin, and lipid balance. Let's break this down. First, texture assessment. As you glide your fingers across the skin, you're assessing whether the surface is smooth, bumpy, or congested. This allows you to detect comedomal activity, keratin buildup, or inflammatory lesions that may not yet be visible under magnification. Next, temperature mapping. Hot zones often indicate active inflammation. Warm areas may suggest subclinical activity within the skin, and cool areas frequently point to chronic conditions or compromised vascular function. When we assess turgor and elasticity, the gentle pinch tells you whether the skin snaps back actively or returns slowly. Delayed elasticity is a clear signal of potential dehydration or structural compromise. It's not simply a lack of surface moisture, it's deeper than that. Now finally, in this category, the oil content analysis. Is the skin slick, tacky, or dry? This distinction helps you determine whether you are dealing with true sebum production or occlusive product residue. It's important to know what your clients are using on their skin, because this directly informs lipid restoration strategies in the long term of your treatment program. It is not subjective information either. It is clinical data that you can use to help you plan for healthy skin for your clients. For example, skin that appears hydrated under the magnifying lamp but feels tight, thin, or papery to the touch often isn't lacking water. It's actually lacking essential fatty acids, and that is going to lead you down a completely different treatment pathway than if it was a lack of hydration, as in water. So a simple systemic 30-second palpation sequence performed during every consultation creates consistent baseline data that you can track over time. Now let's move into the second technique. Most professionals own a Woods lamp, but very few are using it to its full diagnostic potential. Traditionally, it's been used to spot obvious pigmentation. You understand advanced fluorescence interpretation, it becomes an extremely powerful tool for assessing bacterial activity, hydration status, and barrier compromise, including loss of structural integrity. For example, a bright orange or pink fluorescence typically indicates porphyrins, which is a byproduct of your C. acnes bacterium that points to an active bacterial environment in inflammatory acne. A dull violet or purple fluorescence can often indicate a lack of water in the skin. Dehydrated skin often appears darker under the Woods lamp, and this can highlight barrier compromise, and it can also highlight a loss of structural integrity. The loss of volume in the skin, if you will. White spots are commonly there to indicate hyperkeratinization, the excess keratin buildup that often requires enzymatic support rather than aggressive exfoliation. It just allows a diagnostic cue that leads us for further investigation. Now, the key here is to stop looking for one problem. Instead, we want to start mapping fluorescence patterns that we observe across different facial zones. like cheeks, chin, nose, and the forehead. When we see orange, violet, and white together, you're looking at bacteria, dehydration or a lack of water, and keratinization. That information allows you to design a layered, targeted protocol for your client, not a one-size-fits-all treatment or home care regime. And this is where analysis truly becomes transformational, not only for your clients, but for you and your business. Now, I also mentioned the corneotherapeutic interview. It's the most advanced diagnostic tool that you will ever own, and it isn't a device at all. It is your ability to ask better questions and really listen beyond the surface symptoms to the things that your clients are not saying, but that really, really matters. I'm not interested in questions like, what is your skin type? It's my job to assess that. I want to know what created the condition for the client, so I have to ask different questions. Another question could be, how would you rate your stress levels? How do you sleep? Have you ever been on long-term antibiotics? Have you ever been on long-term antibiotics for your skin or for anything else? When your client says that my skin is chronically dry, we don't stop there. We ask why, and then we ask again. What you often uncover is misinformation, habitual product misuse, lifestyle stressors, or systemic factors that have nothing to do with the skin type but are leading factors to the skin condition that the client has. A client with persistent redness may not have rosacea at all. Acne client may not need more exfoliation. The root cause rarely lives on the surface. And as we move towards spring, this becomes even more important. The clients you assess in January and February are the ones whose skin health will define their spring and summer outcomes. This is the season to refine your consultation skills and sharpen your clinical thinking around what it is that you're seeing on your client's skin. Palpation, advanced Woods lamp interpretation, and the corneotherapeutic interview. Together, these three techniques form your system for strong analysis. One that is repeatable, thorough, and clinically powerful. They move you beyond symptom management and into true root cause correction. Systemic approach is the foundation of what we teach in the Professional Skin Analysis Mastery. We teach you how to think like a diagnostician. We don't just teach skin science, we teach you how to think diagnostically and like an inspector solving a crime. Now, if you're ready to stop guessing and start building systems that deliver instant transformative results, then the links are in the description below this video. Thank you all for joining me. Now, go beyond the magnifying lamp and I will see you back here next week.